So a lot of cat parents message me and ask me what they can do for their cats who have diabetes. Short answer is yes, a high protein, high moisture, low carb diet, either wet or raw or lightly cooked, homemade, can help your cat. But the important thing is that you have to monitor your cat's blood glucose at home so that you can dose the insulin amount that you give your cat according to that blood glucose. So Dr. Lisa Pearson has an entire page dedicated to managing diabetes in cats, specifically with diet. And she also talks about how to monitor and dose your cat accordingly at home. She talks about different kits to use, how to talk to your veterinarian and how to do it. And that's really what you want to do, because she says that your cat's insulin needs isn't going to change over a week. It might change that same day. So it's very, very important not to blindly dose your cat, because you can have an overdose very quickly, very easily, and you don't want that, of course. So that's the short of it, and we'll talk about the long of it. It's Jess, and Jericho doesn't want to be filmed, but this is not medical advice. I'm not a medical doctor. And even if I was, I wouldn't be able to give you information and advice specific to your situation in a YouTube video or in YouTube comments. So this video is meant to give you information and resources that you can further research on and also bring to your cat's doctor so that you can come up with a wellness plan together. Anything medically related, I mean, just in general, because diet and medical health and health, everything is involved with your cat's wellness. So I know it stinks that a lot of us don't have veterinarians that support raw feeding, but I'll talk about those resources as well. So you might have to find a new vet. I mean, that's just the way it is. We have to include our vets when we're talking about medicine, right? They are medical doctors. So I want to start with a quote from Dr. Karen Becker, and she says, to help reduce the risk of diabetes in your cat, keep him at a healthy weight, switch from kibble to a fresh meat-based diet, offer him safe access to the outdoors, opt for antibody titer tests, and avoid corticosteroid therapy unless it's absolutely necessary. And then also from Dr. Lisa Pearson's diabetic page, if you change your diabetic cat's diet to one with lower carbohydrates, he will, in all probability, immediately, not days or weeks later, require a reduction in his insulin dosage. He may also immediately go into remission and not need insulin at all. So again, that's why it's important to change your cat's diet, because cats don't need carbohydrates. That's what leads to weight gain. That's what can lead to insulin spikes. That's what can lead to diabetes. So we're going to change our cat's diet to support a healthy ideal weight, to support the pancreas and regular insulin levels. And then with dosing insulin, we want to make sure that we're monitoring at home the blood glucose. That way we can dose the insulin accordingly. So this quote is from Dr. Eliza Katz. This was on Feline Nutrition Foundation's website. A biologically appropriate raw cat food diet for our obligate carnivores is an absolute necessity to obtain the best glycemic control, weight control, and the best chance of diabetic remission. When fed the proper diet, up to 90% of newly diagnosed diabetic cats may become non-diabetic and stay that way. So I would say the best option for a raw food diet is homemade, because you have complete control over the ingredients and how it's made. Therefore, most raw diets are going to be low carb anyway. But if you're concerned about cost and, maybe you don't want to bulk order and deal with shipping costs, homemade is always going to be the best. And you can shop for deals, you can shop for quality, you control how it's made. So we're going to start with ideal. Homemade, complete, raw food. I do make homemade recipes. I'm not saying that they are specifically for diabetic cats. Again, you're going to take these resources to your cat's veterinarian to decide which wellness plan works best for you. But I do have recipes that are complete for adult cats. If your veterinarian decides that these ingredients are good for your cat, then you can move forward. But I'm not here to say that my recipes, they're formulated for healthy adult cats. But again, work with your vet. The other option for homemade is you could buy meat, bones, and organs online. that's like already mixed together, 80-10-10, and then add supplements to it. So again, these foods are not formulated for diabetic cats, but they are high protein, high moisture, low carb, and they are formulated for cats. So the 80-10-10 ratio grinds that I would suggest is Viva Raw. The one that says Pure is for homemade food. Their complete food is complete. You do not add supplements to it. But if you're going for homemade, then you would go with Pure. The other option is Hair Today. And if you want to use Viva Raw, you can use my affiliate code, Jess Caticles, to save 20% on your first order. For Hair Today, they have an excellent rewards program. If you create an account, you'll earn discount points on your order and reviews and all of that. Jericho doesn't like to be filmed. For Viva Raw Pure, there is a recipe. You can use either L-Nutrient for meat and bone. There's also a DIY supplement recipe that they gave me. There's a link to the full guide that explains everything that you need to know about Viva Raw in the description. Same with Hair Today. They sell 80-10-10 ratio pre-model raw grinds, and they also sell L-Nutrient for meat and bone supplements. And there's a link, PDF, in the description with the instructions. There are raw food premix supplements that you would use with just meat and water. So No Better for Cats, TC Feline. TC Feline has different options, some that include the liver, others that do not include the liver, so you would have to add fresh liver. Easy Complete for cats, there's Feline Instincts. So there are different options for the raw food premixes if you only want to use meat and water and the supplement. But each premix has its own ingredients and its own recipe. So just look at the website, look at the instructions, and decide which one would work best for you. As for pre-made raw complete diets, I mentioned before, Viva Raw Complete is complete for cats of all life stages. So it says complete, that means that it has all of the nutrients. You do not need to add supplements to it. So you could use that one. Again, if your veterinarian says that it's a good food for your individual cat, it is not a food that's made specifically for diabetic cats. It's made for cats that fits the requirements of the veterinarians that I quoted before. Species appropriate, high moisture, high protein, low carb. Please remember to transition to food slowly. I will put my transition plan in the description, and again, you will work with your cat's veterinarian to dose your cat's insulin according to his blood glucose during the transition. As Dr. Lisa Pearson says, your cat's insulin needs might reduce that same day. Not weeks later, it's that same day. So you don't want to blindly dose your cat. Now, if you're looking for a prescription food for diabetic cats, maybe you and your veterinarian feel more comfortable using that, but you still want high quality, Medicus actually makes freeze-dried raw prescription foods, and they do have one for diabetic cats. So there is an option, there is a better quality option, at least the ingredients are fresher. Definitely rehydrate it with water. The reason I'm listing this one after the previous options is because this one does contain synthetic supplements. But again, if that's what if you and your cat's veterinarian are more comfortable using, it is prescription based, it's created by veterinarians, so that's another option for you. Now, as for low carb wet foods, these are non-prescription. So Raised Right is an option, and Small's wet food is an option as well. Raised Right is only suitable for adult cats. Smalls is suitable for all life stages. Raised Right does have fewer synthetic supplements. Smalls does have more synthetic supplements, but they also have more protein options. So you'll have to decide with your cat's veterinarian which option is better for your individual cat. And again, I have links to everything with discount codes in the description so you can save some money on your first order. So in terms of in-home blood glucose monitoring, I'm going to lead you to Dr. Lisa Pearson's page. Like I said, I'm not a medical doctor, and I have had experience administering insulin to cats, and one of my cats was actually diabetic, but I'm not here to give you that kind of medical advice. So definitely check that. There's also 2 different studies that are specifically about cats that you might want to share with your vet. So there's one, comparison of glucose concentrations in cats and capillary blood sampling from dogs and cats. So they do talk about the importance of monitoring. Somebody actually said to me that their veterinarian refused and didn't want to teach them how to monitor at home, which I think is irresponsible regardless of whether or not you're changing your cat's food. Because humans have to dose accordingly. You know, they have to prick and then test their blood glucose, and then they give themselves the insulin. So again, definitely check out Dr. Lisa Pearson's page so that you can understand how to speak to your vet and what tests that you can get. And if your veterinarian isn't into teaching you how to dose accordingly, you can find a new vet, an integrative vet that would be more open to also raw feeding. Go to ahvma.org. So that's American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association.org. You can also book a virtual consultation with Dr. Monique Lewison. She's on First Vet. So this is an app that you would use, and you can schedule an appointment specifically with her. She is an integrative vet, and she also raw feeds her cat. So it's not an in-person vet office, visit, but you can at least consult with her and share your cat's labs and any other information that you can get from your vet, and maybe she can point you in the right direction. You can also get labs done in your home, so somebody can come to you with affordable pet labs. Now, this is only if they service your area, but they can come and do blood work in your home, and you can also test your cat's urine and feces at home with their mail-in kits, so nobody has to come to you. You collect the samples yourself and then send them in. That's exactly what I do for Jericho, for his urine and feces. And I have a discount code, and all the links, of course, for everything is in the description. The next thing I would suggest that you do is test your water quality, because there's a lot of stuff that's in our water, and it can really impact negatively on our immune health and our organ health. Same goes for our cats. I use TAP Score test kits. They have a really, really robust analytes that they test for. They have different varying levels. I did the advanced city water because I live in the city, and my brother actually works in water sanitation and said that the advanced test looks the best. He said that the essential, the one higher up, it's good, but the advanced one is good enough for what I wanted to test for. And the price difference between that one and the first one isn't that great. And the best water treatment option that I've found is the AquaTrue reverse osmosis countertop model. I live in an apartment and I can't make any structural changes, so that was the best option for me. So I'll put links to everything. Again, everything that I use, everything that I talk about, discount codes, etc. And a full guide, including everything that I talked about in this video, specifically for diabetes, is in the description below. And I'll also put this entire full guide, the text version, in the pinned comment. Then you can check out this video right over Meow. It is my transition plan so that you can switch your cat from dry food to a low carb, ideally raw or wet food, because that's still going to be better than dry food because it's high in moisture and low in carbs. Thanks for watching.